Hello everyone and welcome to another baconbits video. A lot has changed since our last product overview in version 4.1. With the release now of version 4.5, I wanted to get on here and show you what's changed. We're going to review some stuff here, and then we're also going to get into the new stuff. So on this overview page here, we have 6 different widgets to show you various aspects of the product. The first is our alert triggers. These are either bacon alerts that we've set up or custom alerts that you can go in and set up. And each one of these colored icons is clickable, so if you wanted to look at this is an alert that I set up to trigger patch count or patch available. So these endpoints here have patches available, and I had bacon set up to show me that. And each color is coded to the severity of the alert, so obviously red is critical, orange isn't shown here, but that is medium, the yellow is low, and then purple is our profile alerts, and I'll get to that in a minute. Next we have our endpoints table. This just shows connected and disconnected, and like I said, we can click into this. So if we click the connected, it filters our endpoints table to show us which ones are online. We'll get back to the endpoints page here in a minute. Distribution. So this is our endpoint count. Each is color coded to what operating system they run. So we are cross-platform, so we have Windows, Ubuntu, Mac OS, and other I'll show you in a minute, that is various versions of Linux. And like I said, all of these are clickable, so if you want to go to your Windows machines, all of your Windows online are off. If we go back here, it takes you to your Mac, and so on. Next we have our patch distribution, and everything is color-coded with the same colors as well over here. So we have Windows patches, we have other patches, that's with our CentOS and Debian. We have Mac OS patches and Ubuntu patches, and like I said, these are all clickable. Next we have antivirus protection. So this is where you can go in and mark your custom solution for antivirus, and if you have more than one solution, you can obviously mark those. These are our endpoints that have AV, and if we go back, these are the ones that do not have AV. And you can see that here. The last widget is our encrypted hard drive view. So as you can see, almost none of these are encrypted except for one. If you click on that one, it'll bring it to the one that is encrypted. We have the ability in Bacon to escrow your key when it comes to BitLocker or FileVault. So you can actually view that key in Bacon. We have a video about that on the channel. If we go to monitoring, these are where those rules from the alert tab are stored. So these rules are what trigger the alerts. So if you create a rule here, you can view this one here. There's a few settings there. If you go to alerts, these are left over from the alert trigger. So if you go here, you can sort by severity, you can sort by anything you want. It gives you some information. You can dismiss alerts, or you can export these to an Excel spreadsheet. Outages, we don't have any schedule, but this is where you can create one to show your end users or your other admins that use the product. This is where they can go to see outages scheduled for patches, let's say. And if you have a static screen, this is our knock dashboard. We don't have too many endpoints connected to this server, but if we did, there's an automatic scroll feature, which obviously won't scroll here because there's nothing to scroll. If we move on to the endpoints tab, here's where all of your endpoints are stored, and we try to pull as much information about your endpoint as we physically can. If you go to the columns, this is all of the information that we can display, and these are all clickable, so if you wanted to not show some of these, you can obviously hide some. And use your scroll bar here to obviously view all of the information. If we go over to groups here, this is a way to, it's in the name, group your endpoints, so you can either have patch groups, bundles of software go to certain groups, anything you want. We can make a group here. You can create a static group by just adding static endpoints to a group. You can name it whatever you like. Alternatively, if you go to the endpoints table and you filter, let's just do OS version is equal to Windows 10 Pro. We can add a filter here, and then we can create a dynamic group. So now any endpoint that is added to Bacon that is Microsoft Windows 10 Pro, it'll automatically be added to this group. And if we go to MDM devices, there are none connected to this server, but this is where you would find your MDM devices. Like I said, we are cross-platform with macOS, Linux, and Windows. Moving on to the patching side, here we have information about your patches. It's still filtered as Ubuntu, but if we get rid of that here, we can filter by anything here that we have. It gives you some information about the patches, which available endpoints it's for, whether it requires reboot, pretty much anything you need as a sysadmin to run a patch job. Moving on to the repository. We have a file repository where you can upload your own custom files and custom software. So, for instance, if you wanted to push a PowerShell script, all you would have to do is go here and click Deploy. Select Windows, click Launcher. This will execute the file once you deploy it. Click Next, and then you'll click the endpoints that you want to deploy to. You'll click the file path, whether you want to run as system or as a specific user, any custom executable flags that you'll need, and you can schedule when you want this to be deployed. If you go to bundles here, this is more of an advanced way to deploy files. So if you have custom configurations, anything like that you want to bundle together, we can click view here. So here we have a configuration file, a launcher, and the exe. So you would bundle those three together and then deploy that just like you deploy the other file. A new thing that we have a entirely video on is manage packages. This is our repository of packages that we keep up to date here at Bacon. We have, like I said, we have an entire video deep diving, but for instance, if you wanted the newest version of 7-zip, you would manage it. It's already managed on here. It would create this state, and then you can deploy it, and I'll show that here. If you want to go to profiles, this is our salt-based deployment that uses states. If we go to one of these managed packages here, say 7-zip, this is the state that's created. It is a module that runs on your computer to write this file and then execute it. So states run in profiles, and if we go to profiles here, we click view. It shows the refresh rate. This is how often you would want the profile to run. For instance, if you require your users to have 7-zip, you can set this every hour. So if they delete 7-zip, for instance, or if it's uninstalled, once every hour it will be reinstalled. So that's just an example. And we also have MDM profiles as well. They are in their own category, and we have another video on the channel for that as well. The last thing I wanted to show you that's new, if you go to administration and you go to connections here, is our chat BLT. So this is where you turn it on. This is our AI integration tool that helps you with pretty much anything you need inside of Bacon. If you want to talk to it, you just drag this up here from the bottom, and you have a certain amount of credits you can use. And below here is where you can ask it certain things. Close that here. Alright, that has been our product overview for version 4.5. As new versions are released, we'll do more of these just to keep you guys up to speed on our new features. Look out for 4.6 next. That's it. I hope you guys learned something, and I will see you next time.